Thank you for joining me in this 10th installment of the 12 Powers. I am Chelsea Brewer, your Affluence Ambassador, presenting this series through the Verity Prosperity Project. And I'm so happy you decided to join the conscious awareness expansion happening for the collective consciousness of which we are all a part. In this video, we're talking about strength. You know what ruffles my feathers? When a woman says she's the mother and the father of her children. You know what steams my water? When a woman says that she don't need a man. You know what crashes my test dummy? When a man commits to a woman and at the first sign of temptation falls for the pleasures of his lower self. Wonder what all these scenarios have in common? Weakness. I'll tell you why. Sure, the woman may say she's the mother and the father, but in truth, in reality, in essence, she is only the mother, but she will use these words to put on a facade for her hearers to think she's bigger and stronger than she actually is. Subconsciously, her children hear this message and think there's no value in teamwork. The opposite sex is only good to satisfy the lusts of the body. And then, oh well, I'll just be the mama and the daddy. It don't matter. Yes, it does. In actuality, this woman is overcompensating for the fear she has about the effects on her children not having a man's example in the house. Exaggerations reflect weakness. Sure, the woman may say she don't need a man, but that was only taught to her by a woman who was hurt by one. That was only a lie she heard growing up, that while during the hypnotic stages of her developing brain, accepted those vilifying statements of the opposite sex because a person she trusted said it. In truth, in reality, she does need a man if she ever expects to have a complete family or to share memories with someone special. There is no one on planet Earth that can make a woman feel like a woman than a man. While I am LGBT friendly, I can only speak to what I am. So now, when she refuses a man in thought or word, she's sending out that signal so no good men show up. So only her lower self is doing the talking, sending out these vibrations of wanting affection or sex or company, so she gets someone the essence of her being is not fully happy with. When she says she don't need a man, she's making her void bigger, overcompensating for a lack in her life rather than looking at it squarely in the face, accepting the fact that she's lonely, and goes to take matters into her own hands to change it in mind so it can be changed in time. What you focus on expands, so understand your emotions and then affect them by creating a vision you'd love to have to overcome it. Because avoidance is weakness. Sure, the man may really mean the vows he says at the time he confesses them to the love of his life, but he lacked the mental tenacity to be steadfast, unmovable, and unshakable in his convictions. He let the worst of him get the best of him. He let the stability he was creating crumble and tumble because of the FOMO epidemic. He made excuses like, just this one time, or she'll never find out, or I'll just use protection, it's alright. Here is a popular clip from a couple who were friends then became lovers.
How many times did you cheat on me?
I don't know.
If you had to say.
I wasn't counting.
Say, dude, look at who you are bringing into the marriage. And I'm not talking about the other female's energy, but who you are becoming. The person you are unfolding from within your own soul, from the decisions you're making. You're cutting off your honor, your esteem, and you're no longer due respect. You are not the man your wife promised her life to. You are weakening your bond, bringing disease into your house. And I ain't talking about herpes like the media. I'm talking about your guilt, your shame, your betrayal. You may stuff it down, but women have strong intuitions. She'll sense an inexplicable repulsion with your ass. You'll know she know when she starts fussing at them socks on the floor and she ain't never brought it up before. Energy doesn't lie, but when you do, that's weakness. So many of us say what we don't mean, which gets us into a world of trouble. It's sad, really, that we can't honor ourselves enough to speak up on our own behalf. Those who are strong enough have the courage to stand in the light of truth. Your words should stand on their own merit. Let your yeses be yes and your no be no. Know that you are strong enough to accept whatever comes from being sincere and being your authentic self with integrity, because all things work together for good anyway. You know how we grow muscles? We use resistance. You know how our spirit grows strong? By going through whatever doesn't kill you. We are in a land of duality where there is a perceived good and evil, a world of up and down, left and right. Our own mind, our own perception creates our life's experiences. And as creative beings, we can make up our own excuses for whatever we do. If we're settling, we're in agreement with weakness. But if we're pressing forward towards our highest calling, we're growing in strength. Speaking of duality, each person within their being has feminine and masculine characteristics, love and wisdom. When you think of how Eve came out of Adam, it was a symbol of how both male and female is in every child of God. Even science says we all have X and Y chromosomes. When we consider a certain idea and that spawns another idea and another, that is the feminine aspect being expressed. We all speak words from our mouth, and that is the masculine quality of our being. As Yeshua came into the world, as a man comes into woman, holla if you hear me, that is our masculinity being expressed. I mention duality in this way to show us the purpose of duality. Opposites are attractive because those energies are creative. If you don't understand that the pull of duality is to strengthen you, to increase your self-awareness on a deeper level, to increase your awareness of certain ideas floating in the collective consciousness, if you don't realize the pull of duality is to challenge current thought patterns for their evolution, not to pull you into the other side, but for balance, you'll continue in weakness. If you don't understand the purpose of a thing, abuse is inevitable. As humans, we're made whole, perfect, and complete because we're made in the image of God. While we may not get it right on the first try doing something new, the revelation we receive from the consequences of our actions are to be used as guides. As you learn, you grow in wisdom, which makes you strong. You may stumble, but you won't crumble. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. The rejection may sting a bit. It may feel like your proposal will never be accepted by your boss. It may look like you'll never get that high-dollar client. But as you move along in faith, believing what you've seen in your mind, you are perfectly capable in achieving it in time. Your strength is built every step of the way. Don't give yourself to weakness at all. Affirm at all times that you are a strong tower within and without. Even when you think you can't take anymore, you'll surprise yourself if you keep moving forward. We weren't made to break. At every sunrise, the day is remade. Forget yesterday's mistakes. Keep on pushing for your name's sake. David was sure of himself since he killed that lion that attacked his sheep and subsequently Goliath so he could have his queen. The power of strength is represented in the Bible metaphysically as Andrew, brother of Peter. Peter means rock, so this makes perfect sense. The center of the ganglionic center, or the bundle of nerves which disperses our stability, is at the lower back, as seen here. Conquering Goliath with a slingshot represents the spiritual power being supreme when compared to materiality or physical power. Samson failed when his hair was cut by that chick he was sleeping with. Hair represents vitality, so when the vital principle is taken away, so does the strength of the body, and it eventually perishes. Eve took Adam's strength in like manner because every man who gives up the vital essence of his body for the pleasures of sensation blindly pulls down the pillar of his temple, as did Samson. There's more to come of this on the next video, and if any of this has inspired you to become equipped with the supreme strength of God, I got something for you. Now, if you tuned in to any of the previous videos here, you're aware that each of these powers is accompanied by specific regenerative exercises to accelerate the activation of these powers within your consciousness. It takes dedication to these meditations and exercises to achieve wholeness and oneness, but you have to start somewhere for the clarity of your prosperity to take form. So, to subscribe to my exclusive Affluence Alliance, visit my website for more information. The planet needs this, and you are worth it. So join us today. You deserve the best, so don't choose to stress. I'll see you on the other side where prosperity, love, and happiness reside. And stay tuned as we wrap up the 12 powers. We only have 2 videos left. You don't want to miss the next video as we discuss life, like how life is created. So stick around.